Hey, what's up, Black family? Welcome to the Black Family Podcast. I am your host, Tina Farley, and it is a blessing to be here. Peace, love, and respect. I hope that you all are doing well. I hope that you guys are all having a blessed day. So, you know how I like to do. I like to just roll right into it. Today, we are going to be talking about the female nature. Yes, family, the female nature. We are going to be breaking down the female nature from a biological standpoint, also from a psychological standpoint, and we're going to be breaking down the way females are, what's in their traits, what's in their biology, and we're also going to be breaking down their psychology as well. All of the information that I get on this podcast is from PubMed, Library of Medicine, as well as University of Medicine, as well as any organization. So these are all medicinal websites that I get my information from, talking about the nature of the female, talking about the nature of the male, also talking about the nature of humans, and breaking things down from a biological, scientific, and psychological standpoint. So with that being said, let's roll right into it. Because y'all know I'm an educator, Miss Farley. So I got my notes. And I want to break down in the beginning what they said. It says the general population lacks knowledge of basic behavioral differences between men and women, leaving them unaware of their role, limitation, societal responsibilities, resulting in an underestimation of their own natural talents and biology. Unaware of the role, limitations, societal responsibilities, resulting in an underestimation of their own natural talents and biology. Family, what do you think that means when it says that men or women are unaware? Because these roles don't have anything to do with you role playing in the house with each other. And I think I broke that down really good in the first episode. See, men and women believe that they were put on this earth for each other. These are human desires, which causes limitations, which causes underestimation. Most people are not living in their true talent, and most people don't even know their biology. Most people don't even know their bodies. If they really knew their bodies, we wouldn't have the highest EDs, STDs, heart failures, respiratory failures, autism, Down syndrome, ADHD. And my view of all this is because of natural selection and not sexual selection. You can challenge me if you want. But I know for a fact that all of these diseases come from people procreating with people that they're not supposed to be procreating with. Study shows that the male's chromosome, the Y chromosome, is degenerate. But we will definitely get into that. Just a little teaser. But we will definitely get into that. Intro, behavior, biology, and psychology. On the study shows females are more agreeable in nature. Females are more agreeable in nature. So by nature is what it's saying that females are more agreeable. A lot of women that I've come across have been very agreeable. The only disdain that I have with this is that women could be too agreeable, that this is the reason why they have allowed pain into their lives. Women have been too agreeable that they have allowed pain into their lives. But it is the female nature of the reason why she is agreeable. Females do not prefer to fight for achieving their goals. Females during puberty reflect chances of increasing negative emotions led to anxiety and depression. Well, family, why is that? Well, because females are pressured to be mothers, to be wives, to be everybody's helping hand, to take on numerous responsibilities by themselves. See, when I broke down what is family and I broke down the matriarch and the matrilineal divine order, I broke down that females never did anything alone. They had other females helping them. They had other females helping them with the house duties, with the childbearing and the child rearing, with the crops, with agriculture, with economics, with the house. The nuclear family setup, as I like to call it, the nuclear family fantasy, it isolates the woman by herself, and the male puts all of the work onto her. And as we go through this, you're going to find out why. So due to these societal norms, it becomes societal pressure for females, causing her that at the age of 12 or 13, you have girls that are going through body shaming and body, what they call deformities and stuff like that. They have deformed their own bodies, trying to be something that they're not. You have young girls that will sit up and try to play house with a grown man due to being agreeable by nature and due to societal norms of what a female should be doing. So this gets into her psychology, and it becomes an ideology of what she should be doing. So it causes anxiety and depression as she is going through puberty. Females believe in good relations and thus making them as creative thinkers. I broke this down in numerous of my other videos that because of the feminine, this energy, females use more of the right side of their brains, causing them to be more creative thinkers. We have study that says that women are creative thinkers. How do we know this? Well, take a look at everything that you see. Everything you see on TV has the female touch. Nothing in society could be sold without the female. The female is in the media because everybody knows that the female creativeness sells. From the colors, to the lipstick, to the makeup, to the designing clothes. You even have males that understand if they dress more like the female, they are more likely to get more attractiveness. Family, I said that the male has even took upon the female energy, that he knows that if he dresses more feminine, he becomes more creative, thus has him selling more, right? So the female touch is on everything from media to social media, to the way how houses are structured, to the way how cars are structured, to the way how sofas are structured. The female's creativeness is everywhere. In music, they can't do music without the female. In commercials, they can't do commercials without the female. They can't sell something as simple as a billboard without the female creativeness. The female creativeness is in everything that we see, from the trees to the grass to paintings to clothing to how everything is designed in this world, from how the schools are set up to how media is portrayed. It has the female's creativeness on it, because it cannot sell without the female. Music cannot sell without the female. Why do you think in the 70s, why do you think a lot of them took on the persona of the female? Because they knew that they were going to be able to sell more. Bell bottoms, glitter, tight little shirts. Why do you think all of those males, because it was more males in the industry, because the males are always going to control the resources. That way they have power over the divine feminine. So why do you think they had to, every 70s song that have men in it, have female backup singers? Because it wouldn't sell without the female. So you can't challenge me, because pull out an ad, the female is there. Pull out magazines, the female creativeness is there. Pull out music. Even how artists do all of their backgrounds, how artists dress, sparkly, flashy. All of that is the female creativeness. So study shows that the female builds good relation, thus making them as creative thinkers. Females showcase promising hearing ability. Now this was really interesting, family, when I was reading this. Females are blessed with 11% more neurons in their language and hearing centers when compared to males. They not only pose promising better hearing ability, but also showcase interest towards one's emotional tone. Showcase interest towards one's emotional tone. Women are more likely to show more of a promising hearing ability towards one's emotional tone. And they do. The skill is an inbuilt feature to understand feelings of their children and understanding the emotions of a baby unable to speak. I'm going to read that again. This skill is an inbuilt feature to understand feelings of their children and understanding the emotions of a baby unable to speak. Now, to my female fans, my female family, where does it say that you are using your listening and hearing abilities to understand men? It doesn't. You are trying to use all of your patience and your understanding for men. That's not how that goes. That's not why you are here. Study shows that the reason why you have these abilities of patience and understanding is for children, not for the men, for children. This skill is an inbuilt feature to understand feelings of their children and understanding the emotions of a baby unable to speak. This is for babies. Your skills that you have of patience and understanding is for the babies. So why are you coddling grown men? Why are you sitting up there moaning and groaning and whining, trying to understand men? Oh, I have so much patience with him, and I've been trying to understand him. I sit up there and I listen to them, and he still would cheat. He still would do this. He still would do that all to me because you're out of order. You're out of order, my dear. You taking your 11% more hearing ability to try to understand someone that's completely opposite from you, have a complete different nature from you. And now the study shows that your hearing abilities and your understanding abilities and your patience is for the babies, not for men. Get yourself in order, females. Wider focus of female on relationship building. Females focus on relationship building. They change turns more than 20 times and give others opportunities. This is so true because I always noticed, especially when I was younger, that majority of, the games were always put on by women. You know what I'm saying? And women were always fair in trying to make sure that everybody gets a turn. Grandma's going to make sure that everybody gets a turn. The favorite auntie is going to make sure that everybody gets a turn. You know what I'm saying? Your mom is going to make sure that everybody can go through the rounds. The study shows that males, not so much, but I will definitely get into that when I'm breaking down the male nature for the next episode. But for females, because females focus on relationship building, they are more fair. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we could be a little too fair, but hey, that's our nature as the female. The reason why I laugh like that, because being a elementary school teacher, I could see a lot of this within myself and also within, the other female teachers as well. And we were actually even told by one of the teachers, she's a little more stern, but I mean, she's awesome. But she even told us, you guys are too nice. But the thing is that it's in our nature to be fair. And look what the study says, that we have this inbuilt feature to understand the feelings of the children, to understand a baby that's unable to speak. You know what I'm saying? As females, as the mother, you have this intuition to understand a child who is unable to speak to you, unable to relay a message. You got to understand if they going through something, if they sick at this moment, if they need their diaper change, or all of these things. You got to know what they are feeling. And this is not always the case for women that give birth to children. Other women they know these feelings. All of the children that I've taken care of have not been mine biologically, but I have this understanding of them. And now you're understanding that this is in the female's nature. Your skills that you have is not to build men up. This is not about being nasty towards them. This is about you're not in order. You're not in order. So we got to get the female back in order, because your nature says that relationship building, your understanding is for the children. You are agreeable. And then look at this. I really like this. In general, females easily give up with their personal liking for saving a relationship. It's in your nature. It's in your nature to give up everything that you have owned, everything that you are, just so you could save a relationship. That ain't cool. And females, this is the female. This is what you do generally. Do you know what in general? This means a whole population of females do this. It don't matter where you're at, whether you're in Germany, whether you're here in the United States, whether you in Africa, whether you in Alabama to Florida, Texas, California, whether you're in India, whether you're in Turkey, whether you're in Italy, whether you're in Ireland, Ghana, in general, females easily give up with their personal liking for saving a relationship. What does that look like? Oh, I could have been a chemist, but, I ended up getting pregnant and, I got married and I got all these kids now. And so, yeah, this stops here. You don't got to do that. You don't have to do that. And just because it's something in our nature does not mean that that's something we always have to do. Because as females, as much as something's in your nature, you got to spend your time fighting against your own nature as well. The female's nature is wanting to be conquered. Wanting to be conquered and wanting to be taken care of. That's been used against you as well. You know how many women, I need a man to just, overpower me and tell me what to do. Why? When you're the one who has the intellect. You're the one who has the 11% more hearing capabilities. You're the one that has the intuition. You're the one that has the logic. You're the one that does all the work. You're the one that's the leader, protector, and provider. You're the one that's the nurturer. You got these women turning off their brains so that their boyfriends can think for them. Oh, it's all over TikTok. You can go see it. It's all over TikTok. All you got to do is type in women turning off their brains and it's going to pop up. It's trending. You got females turning off their brains just so men can think for them. And so when you do things like that, ladies, that is the reason why men disrespect you. And anybody knows me, I don't condone any type of behavior like that. I don't condone controlling behavior, but I don't condone stupidity. That is stupidity. You're better than that. You can do better than that. But due to the female nature wanting to be conquered by males, that's what you would do. And males don't have no problem because that's their nature of wanting to conquer. So they don't have no problem when they get women that want to be silly. Sitting up there telling you, I seen one where he was telling the girl, look, pay attention. He said, you're not paying attention. And yeah, one lady on there, she was like, I don't know how these girls is turning their brains off. I want to do that too. I'm like, oh my God. And so when males come across a female that can think for her own self, it's almost like it's new to them. I'm a woman that can think for myself. I'm a woman that has logic and reasoning. And when I come across males who are not used to that, it shocks them. Like I can tell you about a guy. This was when I was in New York. I was younger then. I was in New York, and I was out at a club with some friends, and we had got off of work, and after work we'll go to a bar. I don't drink, but I was out socializing and stuff, so I'd probably get me like a soda or something, or something like really really light. They tried to, but I said, nah, I'm watching y'all. But a guy comes up to me and he says, how do you like it? And I said, I like my money in 50s, 20s, 100s. I like boxing. I like swimming. I like running. I like music. I like working out. When I say that man must have bagged up and was looking so confused. And the reason why he was confused, ladies, he was confused because I'm pretty sure he has used that ruse on a lot of other women and got two responses. One, the one that said, what you talking about? Get away from me. And then now they aggressive. Or the one that goes like, how do I like it? Oh, like it like what? But then he came across me, who he never got this answer. I like my money in 10s, 20s, 50s, and 100s. I like boxing. You know what I'm saying? Because you're asking me how I like it. I'm telling you, I like my money with the big numbers. I like working out. I like running. I ran track. I like boxing. My uncle taught me how to box. What? What's up? And then, to my surprise, this fool had a little bit of intellect. But see, some of you ladies, you won't know that because your nature is to give up. Your nature is to let him come and control you. But your traits is leader, protector, and provider. It's not theirs. I don't know what man lied to them about that, and it is sad. And that's why they all out here laying about, all in tents and laying all out on the grounds and stuff, because some fool lied to the male and said that he is a protector, leader, and provider. Those are not of the male's traits. Those are female traits. But the female's nature is to want to be conquered and taken care of. That princess story is over for you, darling. And that's why a lot of you are getting homosexuals. You getting the wife beater. You getting the STD man. You getting all of that. Because you want to be lazy. Let's just break it down like that. There's no other way to put it. You want to be lazy. That's what you want to do. You can't do that. Because your traits say otherwise. Females reach on top with their intelligence, skills, hard work, and beauty. Ladies, intelligence, skills, hard work. Okay? It says beauty on here, but this is what you have to be at the top. You have to utilize your intelligence, your skills, your hard work. That is what is installed in you. Not you trying to force this princess story. I got women that are upset with me because I don't have no desire to marry a man. I don't have no desire to have a whole bunch of children because that is societal norms. Females think that having babies is an accomplishment. Having babies is not an accomplishment, it is a societal norm. Having babies is not an accomplishment, it is a societal norm. And I'm glad today that a lot of ladies are understanding that today. Study shows that the most happiest women here on earth are the ones that are single and child-free. Their skin is clearer, their teeth are whiter, their smile is brighter, their skin is flawless, their bodies look great because they are not polluted with the male DNA. They are not polluted with fetus. And then when I tell women to detox your bodies, I gotta do the girl. Tina, what you mean that we got to detox? I do a little bit of belly dancing. That should be good enough for detox. Oh, Tina, everything that you're saying is the truth, but we need our men. You're speaking the truth, Tina, but what we supposed to do? Because my man, oh, this was my favorite. This was one of my favorite. This one was told to me personally, not online. This one was told to me personally. Do you ever been with a good man? Huh? Have you ever been with a good man? And then we can't relate because I know that my man is a good man. He goes 50-50 with me. That's a good man. Okay, darling. Okay. I know that y'all love your males, but I'm breaking down the female nature. Female psychological traits. Females are holistic. Females have a greater holistic perception, meaning observing and dissecting information with logic and intelligence. And you know, I met a lot of intelligent ladies. It actually pushed me to be on my toes the way I am. It pushed me to be a critical thinker. I've been around women that they could feel things from a mile away. They could feel it. I've always been like that, you know? And I've been around a lot of women that have been like that. I've been around women that are scientists, psychologists, mathematicians. I've been around women that was prophets, man. Everything they said, it came to pass. So I know this. I know that women, that females are holistic. Their perception, observing, women can dissect information down with no problem, with logic and intelligence. This is why I know for a fact that, yes, you use a lot of your creative thinking, but women can also tap into their logical thinking as well. Because women are more inclined to stopping and thinking more than what males would do. That's the study. But this is also things that I have seen personally. Personally, I have seen women be able to dissect things with logic and intelligence and be able to break it down. And even from certain perspectives of it hasn't happened yet, but boom, within probably 30 minutes or an hour, there it is. Because women have the womb, right? Male traits is balanced by female intuition, which is known as the highest form of intelligence. Male's traits is balanced by the female intuition, which is known as the highest form of intelligence. Family, this is a study from Library of Medicine that is breaking down that the female's intuition is the highest form of intelligence. Why? Because the woman has the womb. What is the womb? The womb is the portal to life. That is the life source. So the only thing I be really wanting to understand from women at times is that your intuition as female is known as the highest form of intelligence. Why are you following behind man? Why are you following behind man? Why do you need a male who depends on your balance of your intuition, who comes through you, who comes from you, who's dependent on you, who needs you to get here to in this world? Why are you depending on a male to be your leader, protector, and provider? And those are your traits. The study is breaking it down. You're the one with the logic. You're the one with the intelligence. You're the one with the 11% more hearing abilities. You're the one with the intuition. You're the one with the holistic perception. You're the one that can dissect information. You're the one who cares about building relationships and have the skills to do so. This study says that the female intuition, which is known as the highest form of intelligence, that's beyond genius. But you're depending on males to lead you somewhere, turning off your brain. You turning off your brain. What you turning off your brain for? Because it's in your nature to want to be conquered. But the study is showing that your intuition is known as the highest form of intelligence. This is the reason why pre-colonial women, everything went based off of the woman. Even women taking up the man's last name, that's out of order. That's out of order. Why are you taking a man's last name when men have to come through woman? And woman, you can birth woman, but males can't birth males. But female, the XX chromosome can birth XX chromosomes. The XY chromosome, every baby starts off as female. Every baby starts off as female. The X chromosome. And males do not determine both sex of the babies. That was a lie. Males only determine the sex of a male. He does not have unlimited X's to give, because if every baby starts off as an X, which is a female, that is female chromosomes, female DNA, how can he give you something that he needs? He needs that X. That's how he started off. He started off with that X. So how can he give something that he needs? He cannot. The males do not determine the sex of both children. The female determines the sex of the female, and the male determines the sex of the male. Point blank, period. You can argue, you can fuss, you can fight. But these are things that we can see. Now, it don't take a rocket scientist to see that. I came from my mother. Because the sperm is an initiator, not an indicator. The indicator is the womb, which means you have to be chosen. Okay? You have to be chosen. The sperm cells, most sperm dies. It dies out. Women are born with their eggs. Males are not born with sperm. Females are born with their eggs. Males are not born with their sperm. Males don't start producing sperm until they get 13, 14. Some even be late bloomers, 15, 16. But they're not born with sperm. So that should let you know right then and there as the woman. You got women talking about, oh, Tina, how we gonna make babies? Darling, I know you're not thinking about making no babies. You can't even take care of the ones that you got. And you sitting up here talking about how you gonna make babies? Get out of here. Women don't have to live in scarcity the way males do. Males have to live in scarcity because guess what? The only way they can get into this world is through the womb man. WOMBMAN. The woman. That's the only way. So all that, you need me to make a baby. Tell them to nut on a tree and let's see if it makes a baby. That's what you tell that fool next time. It's not going to happen. You need the womb. And they have women, we need each other. No, he needs you. And women needs women. They already have women that are creating with other women. They already got women that are already getting pregnant without any male DNA. That's what they're trying to keep under the wraps, but it already came out. So do your research. Everything that I teach on here, like I said, will be in the description. I go over it. We dissect it. We break it down. The link will be in my description. So make sure you go and read it. It's time for our people to start reading. Time for our people to start researching. You got fools in the comments talking about I don't understand. You don't understand because you don't study. And when you don't study and you don't research and you don't experiment and you don't understand, you cannot refute anything. Because if it came down to studying and having sex, most people want to have sex than study. So that's something you got to fight first. You got to fight that. You got to fight that urge. You got to fight that desire. How you going to refute something and everything you're trying to refute, you just confirmed it? You got males in there, that's why we run everything. We run everything. You guys are 60% homeless. How do you run something? Sit down. Sit down, sir. You don't run nothing. Your Y chromosome is degenerate. How do you run anything? You can't stop thinking with your woodpecker. You think with your woodpecker 24/7. So how you going to build anything? You can't. A mentally strong female can have a personified vision to explore the world. A mentally strong female can have a personified vision to explore the world. You have to be mentally strong as a female to explore the world. Making a bunch of babies and being a house slave is not being a mentally strong female. Laying on your back, popping out babies is not an accomplishment. And thus, it does not make you more useful. So stop looking at other women who don't want to live that Cinderella, lay on your back and be a princess bum. Be this man's. Let me just break it down like this. A wife is nothing but prostitution. It is. And I remember saying this when I was a kid. I seen other people break this down. And all of the women that have said that, let me tell you something. You are absolutely right. Because me and my brother, we said that when we were kids. And just to see it out, all of the females that said that a wife ain't nothing but a prostitute, you are not lying. She is at that man's service 24/7. Stressed out. Stressed out. Funny thing. I was at my brother and my sister-in-law's house out in St. Louis, right? They had just bought a home. And I went there and everything was beautiful. It was for the holidays, and I'll be going there again for the holidays. So, but I went there for the holidays, and my sister-in-law, she always picking on my brother for the littlest things. She always picking on him for the littlest things, right? But so I say, sis, I said, what if I want to be married one day? I said, I might want to be someone's wife one day. I say, break down, give me the wife experience, and at that time it was the next day after Thanksgiving, so I had 3 more days to be there. So I said, you got 72 hours to break it down, this wife life, Family, she didn't do nothing but complain. If, you know the song, if I don't do it, it won't get done. If I don't say something, no one will. I gotta wash the dishes, and it has to be done this way. If I don't get on your brother about this, it's not gonna happen. I gotta go up to the school and do this and say this. Oh no, he's not gonna do anything. I have to be the one. I have to be the one to set the rules and stuff. Because if I don't set the rules, everybody will come in here and do whatever they want, because he's not gonna say nothing. I gotta do the laundry. Gotta wash the dishes. I gotta fold up the laundry. And then I gotta make sure your niece is doing her work. We heard it all before. Heard it all before. But your lies ain't working now. Yep. Wife life is prostitution. That man get to have you at any time he wants. You cooking, cleaning, washing everything, taking care of the children, doing all of the work on your own, because you just think you pleasing your man. I'm pleasing my man. I'm the best wife out here. The best looking slave anyone ever did see. That's what that is. Uh-oh, I may not get invited to any weddings anymore. And even with me knowing all of this, family, I don't stop nobody from trying to get married. And you shouldn't either. Let them go on. See, that's the beauty about knowing the female nature, is that you ain't trying to stop nothing. I don't be trying to stop nothing. I let them go on. I be like, go ahead, baby. You know what you doing. I'm wishing for the best for you too. Yep. Females do not focus on minute details of concept. Instead, believe in the gross results. Women are like that. See, males focus on the little itty bitty minute details. Women don't. We want to see the whole picture. This was really deep because I'm like that. You know, it may not be every little detail, even though I'm very observant, but I want to see the bigger picture. And the reason being is because women, since we take up majority of the work, females take a lot on. Cooking, cleaning, childbearing, child rearing, going up to the schools, got to go to the doctors, got to go to the hospital, got to set this schedule for the kids. The kids got this practice. The kids got to be this. The kids got to eat this. We got to pack the lunch. We got to make sure they're in school this time. We got to make sure we pick them up from aftercare. We got to make sure we do this. We got to make sure we do that. So we don't have time. We're too busy to focus on minute details. We need the whole concept. We need the whole gross results. And I think we would just always be like that, because I'm like that. I need the whole picture. Give me the whole picture. I need the whole thing. We're too busy. So we definitely focus on the gross results, okay? That's in the female's nature. And then this just talks about holistic thinking, intuition, nurturing, and verbal abilities. This is all of the female nature, right? Breaking down the psychology, breaking down the biology, breaking down societal norms of what the female think she should be doing, what males think she should be doing. But in the beginning, study shows that most men and women don't even know nothing about each other's biology or nature. This is why this is so confusing to most, because most people don't study science and biology on a intellectual college level or a scholarly level, because most people's perception of biology is sex. It's much more than that. It's about the mind. It's about the soul. It's about the spirit. And the reason being is because being one with earth, being one with the nature, which is all of the divine feminine. There is nothing called Father Nature. I had to break that down to my 10-year-old today at school, talking about, I thought, no. He thought. He's only 10 though. He's a baby. But I enjoyed letting him know, like, everything is the mother nature. Everything is the mother rule. Everything is the mother lands, the mother earth. So why, as the female, you know that there is a mother rule, you know that there is an equilibrium of the mother, why are you running around trying to follow man? To do what? To do what? And that's what is the confusion. Stop turning your brains off and start focusing on yourself as the female, and start understanding why you are here. Because I assure you, it's not about popping out a bunch of kids. I love the kids, we love the babies, but it's not about that. You're here for a greater purpose. You have talents, you have goals, you have dreams. I advise you go for them. I advise you do something better with your life besides turning off your brain and wanting to be thumped on. That's not why you're here, darling. Do better, be better, always be greater. To the divine feminine. I'm tuning out. This is the Black Family Podcast. Black Power.